911, what are you reporting?
Hi, I think I have an emergency.
What are you reporting?
So my daughter is she's 5 years old and she stopped breathing.
Oh, what's your address? Okay. How old is she?
She's 5.
Okay, and she's not breathing?
Yes.
She is?
She isn't.
A father found his 5-year-old baby girl unable to breathe and nervously called 911. Details on the call sounded alarming. The girl was only minutes away from losing her life, and the paramedics had to rush in. As soon as they spot the girl lying in the corner, their faces turn grim. Something bad had happened in here.
What happened?
So he said that right before he called 911, he was going to get her something, and she started stumbling around, and he thought oh no, something must be wrong, so he went to go lay her down, and then she just stopped breathing. So he called 911.
He said, did I get it here today?
Yeah, he said the last time was last night at 11. But if you look at her head, it's
yeah, I can see it from here.
There's cuts
all over her body.
Yeah.
And what's worse, 3 more children were found locked away in another room, unharmed, but this house had a story to tell.
Just told me not hitting, especially something with a stick, not hitting.
It all started with a 911 call from 29-year-old father Woo Jin Hahn reporting his daughter not responding.
What happened?
So he said that right before he called 911, he was going to get her something, and she started stumbling around, and he thought oh no, something must be wrong, so he went to go lay her down, and then she just stopped breathing. So they called 911.
He said, did I get it here today?
Yeah, he said the last time was last night at 11. But if you look at her head, it's
yeah, I can see it from here.
There's cuts
all over her body.
Yeah.
All attempts at saving her life were failing. Jin Han and his girlfriend Cierra Fisher are called into the interrogation room even before little Soo Jin is pronounced dead.
So you said that it's obviously been stressful with the kids being sick. Okay, so tell me, how is this, when you say it's been stressful, tell me what that means for you. What is that?
Sleepless nights.
Okay.
I haven't slept for 2 days prior to leading up to today, and and then given our rental and financial situation, it was I had to get this sleep, whereas my partner had to work, and it was just very hard to manage a lot of things.
Okay.
For Woo Jin, asking the state of his daughter was not the priority while he gets questioned. He focuses on laying down the foundations of justifications for his behavior, and from this point on, he will look more culpable by every turning minute.
Okay. So when I asked you what brought you in to meet with me today, you said your daughter's welfare. What specifically did you mean by your daughter's welfare? What's going on with your daughter?
No, I said my daughter's well-being.
Okay, well-being. Okay, so what did you mean by your daughter's well-being?
Because this morning when I checked on her, she was having difficulty breathing.
Okay. And help me, when you say difficulty breathing, what was it that was going on?
Just short, laborious breaths, and I noticed when it stopped, that's when I just called the paramedics.
Okay. When did you first notice that she was having that difficulty?
Around 11 o'clock this morning.
Okay. And you described them as short, laborious breaths?
Yes.
Anything else that you noticed going on at around that time? Okay. And then you said you noticed she stopped breathing. Okay. And when did you notice that? 11:15. 11:15 this morning? Okay. And what was the very next thing that you did when you noticed that she stopped breathing?
I called the paramedics.
Okay. And then what happened?
And I was instructed to do CPR.
And then what happened after that?
I got Once I conducted the CPR, the officers came in and then took over.
Woo Jin talks calmly because he thinks there's no one to refute his discipline story. But little does he know, Cierra is sitting in the next room, filling in the blanks he is leaving. The woman who witnessed the abuse every day.
I don't want to know if he did anything that night when I wasn't there. I don't want to know.
And I apologize. Obviously, I'm not trying to make you upset, but my job is to get down to the truth of what happened to her, right?
Yeah.
And so I really, knowing him and his anger and his issues and everything else, it would be a big coincidence to me, you coming home at 12:30, her sleeping for like 16, 17 hours.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Him telling you, don't go in there. And then a half an hour later, he's on the phone to 911.
I feel like something happened that night when I was gone and I don't know what it was. Or that morning, I don't know.
Okay. What is your opinion? Do you think she was probably in that room?
Cierra is hesitating to give the full account because she's scared of Woo Jin. But is that the full picture?
And so, after you told her to knock it off and lay down and go to sleep, then...
She went back to sleep, and then that's when I noticed she wasn't being as playfully and energetic as she was.
Okay. And how long did that last?
Only like from 11 to 11:15, like 15 minutes. So it was very hard to just shorten his breathing, then also just I didn't see any movement in the chest.
Okay. But you said she woke up numerous times between. So about how many times do you think she got up between when you initially saw her wake up the first time and 11?
Like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, like she would have like 1 hour breaks in between.
Okay, so I'm doing my best not to put like words in your mouth. So you said 8, 9, 1 hour breaks. So maybe 3 to 4 times? Okay. And what happened each time she woke up?
Like just jumping around, just trying to do front flips, just rolling around, kicking, anything nearby.
Okay.
Just anything that's on there.
And what happened each time that she woke up? Like each time that she woke up, what was your reaction when she woke up?
Like just hold her down and just put her down.
Oh, sorry, say that a little louder.
Like I hold her and then like put her down, like tuck her back in.
Hold her and put her down?
Yes.
And then help me understand what you meant with the gates.
Oh, like if I don't know if you guys ever see where she slept, but like she had like a lot of like either gates around, like if there's a mattress here, there's a gate here, and she's in the corner of the wall, like so there's nothing for her to like get her off the mattress or just stuff to keep her on the mattress.
Okay, so the gates surround her mattress.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it a separate bed than what you sleep in, or same bed?
Separate bed.
Separate bed.
Yes.
You sleep in the same room with her.
Yes.
Woo Jin hides the true story. Soo Jin hadn't suddenly become unplayful, she had been tied to a toilet seat and beaten to death. Or maybe he means she became less playful after he beat her to death. Meanwhile, Cierra adds some shocking details.
Today I don't really know a lot of what happened. I was at work since I clocked in at 3 this morning, and I got home probably around 12:30.
Okay.
And I was just kind of like in my room, kind of unwinding from work for a little bit, and then he called me in there and said, "Open the doors for the paramedics." And that's
And who's he? I'm sorry.
Woo Jin.
Woo Jin. Okay.
Yeah.
And who's Woo Jin to you?
Boyfriend, but right now I'm looking into getting a protection order against him because I just found out that he hit my kids as well. Like, they just told me as we're sitting in this room, so I'm really not, like, not okay with him right now at all.
Yeah. So a boyfriend, but right now some bad stuff's happened that you
Yeah,
worried
it's
about.
no more.
No more,
yeah.
okay. As of today.
As of, yeah.
Okay. So let's start off with, you said you got off at work at what time again?
A little bit after 12, maybe like 12:10 around there.
12:10. And then you came home and tell me what happened and everything that happened when you got home.
When I got home, I just, I don't know, I just like went into my room and did like what I usually do. I'm good, like, get my work clothes off, and I got like some food from the kitchen that I brought from work because I was gonna eat lunch real quick. And that's about it. I was just eating and just kind of sitting there watching TV for a minute.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then I heard him calling for me from the other room, so I went in there and he's like, opened the door for the paramedics, so yeah, I just went to the door and waited for them to come in.
Okay. And did he say what was wrong besides just open the door for the paramedics?
I saw him giving CPR to Soo Jin, so I did something with her.
Okay. So tell me about what you observed today.
When I walked in there, she wasn't moving, and she had her eyes open, and he was giving her CPR. That's all I saw her today.
Did he say anything else to you, or?
No, he was just crying and like trying to help her and telling me to open the door.
Okay. And then what happened?
That's it. I opened the door and let the paramedics in, and I went and got my kids because I was scared and took them into the room so they don't see whatever's happening.
Yeah.
And I just shut the door and stayed in there.
All right.
The timelines do not add up. While Cierra is shedding light on Woo Jin's actions, she leaves out more information about her involvement. But the detectives have seen something more, something coming from their past that shields them from this deception. Watch as he confronts her slowly, as she paints a picture of the abuse in home.
So, how's everything been at the house lately?
Not good.
What's that?
Not good.
Okay, tell me about that.
Just like, Woo Jin kind of out of control.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him hurting Jin yesterday, like, I don't know, and I guess he hit my kids as well, and they all just, as we were sitting in here, they told me that and showed me a mark on their arms. Like, I didn't know about it until now, so I'm just, I don't know. He's out of control, and it was pretty, I don't know.
So tell me what he looks like when he's out of control.
I don't know. He can be like scary, like I don't know, a lot of things like I haven't witnessed him do with my eyes, but I have seen him like get mad and he'll punch holes through the wall. He has to me before, which I've reported to the police. He's also, hit my kids in the past, and that's been reported as well. And it's just, yeah, he just, I guess, likes to hit, be violent, I guess, if he gets mad or upset. And it's like if he decides not to be violent, he will lecture people for a very long time. He does that with my children quite often, like just lecturing them for hours on end, and I don't know.
Okay. And your children said that they were hit today?
They said it happened last night during dinner time.
Okay. Tell me what your children told you today. What you just found out, I guess.
So I was eating dinner in the room by myself, and he made a separate dinner for the kids because they weren't feeling well. They all had stomach issues, so he made them like soup or something. And I guess because they're not feeling well, they weren't eating properly, and he was getting upset about it. And my kids told me that he smacked them, and they said that he hit them with a cup. So
What kind of cup?
I don't know.
Okay. And when they say hit, do they describe the hitting at all, or?
No.
While Cierra creates a story of abuse and terror, Woo Jin establishes himself as the provider. Who's lying? Spoiler, they both are.
Help me understand when you say that you were feeling stressed out those past couple days with the kids being sick, what does stress typically feel like for you?
It's like constantly worrying all the damn time and just constantly worrying. Anxiety. I can't enjoy any hobby until like I see that they're 100% fine.
Okay. And then you said you guys also had some financial issues going on?
Yes.
Okay, help me understand what's going on with that.
I've been struggling to find work for the past 5 months.
Okay.
I've been unemployed and I've been trying to find work to help out my girlfriend, but it's just one hiccup after hiccup.
Okay.
Whether it's financial battles, kids being sick, or my girlfriend's possible divorce, ex-husband contacting us. It's just drama after trauma after trauma.
Okay. They are divorced, it is her ex-husband. Okay, and he's a problem. Okay.
How he's a problem is he will contact, no, here's my girlfriend, very emotional and not feeling supported to partake in any activity because she just met someone in her past. So here I am, taking care of all the other kids, trying to pretend like none of this happened. And it's like, I'm already looking at her like, I really need to sleep, please.
Yeah.
While Woo Jin thinks of his nap time, Soo Jin has already lost her life. No matter what picture he or Cierra paints, a child is dead. And that does not scream caring father. Detectives almost immediately found a trail of CPS reports and calls made against Woo Jin's household because it was suspected that he had been constantly abusing children in the house. Since the other 3 children were found unharmed, Soo Jin sadly lived in a different home. Her little arms were found with cuts, her cold body lying beaten up. What else is he hiding?
You met with the caseworker from CPS. What are some things they told you? Like things that they told you might happen, or things that they told you, like concerns that they had, or like what are things that the caseworker talked to you about?
Just told me no hitting, especially something with a stick, no hitting. He heard, and then okay, my CPS caseworker is trans, so I'm confused on how to ask her relate to this, so it's one of those, like, that he wanted to find out what was wrong, and then I told everything, like, financially this, and he just gave me the resort of, you can't hit.
Okay.
I didn't get any resources or like phone numbers for daycares or this, hey, if you're struggling, get a ride here, there's this places you could take.
Yeah.
I was just given the alternative, you can't hit.
Yeah. So basically he told you what not to do, but you don't feel like you've got any actual assistance on what to do. Okay.
So now here's all the pressure and all the anxiety and all this problem still happening and occurring, and I'm just reacting to it like as if it's new. And what about resourceless and all these strangers telling me, you can't be doing this, and I don't know how to ask for help too.
Okay. What does Cierra ever discipline? Like, Does she ever discipline her?
Yes.
What kind of things does Sierra do to discipline her?
Same thing I do.
The same thing?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Like with her hand. I haven't physically watched her do it, but I can hear the sounds and I can hear my daughter screaming.
Okay. Tell me, what does it sound like?
I told you to knock it off! I'm sick of her!
Okay. Does Sierra discipline her own in that way?
No.
No?
No.
Why do you think she disciplines that way but not her own kids that way?
Because I don't know. I really want to know what is the reason.
I feel like you probably have a suspicion, right? Like, what would your suspicion be?
Possible vendetta against my daughter?
Sierra clearly had another side to her which we hadn't seen yet. In August 2020, records of medical neglect in his custody dispute when Soo Jin's mother was fighting for her daughter while fighting cancer. In October 2020, doctors reported missing appointments when Soo Jin's treatments were going on. In September 2021, Woo Jin left the clinic mid-visit, leaving Soo Jin without needed immunization. By November 2022, there had been a long-standing list of abuse, and finally, on May 29, 2025, Soo Jin's little body gave up.
Part of the CPS report is that multiple doctors have tried to get a hold of you multiple times regarding some medical concerns for your daughter, and that it's documented that either you just hung up on the doctor or no-showed to appointments or refused to comply with medical care, and that you were, possibly being looked at for medical neglect. So when you say you don't really know what was wrong with her, it sounds like you didn't want to know what was wrong with her.
That's exactly what you just said.
Okay, well, it sounds like that's a huge point of a lot of your stress. So, why would you not want?
Because that's exactly how I found out with my wife.
Listening to doctors is how you found out?
Yes. I just didn't want. I wasn't ready for that hospital environment, the scenario, just reliving all that again. And this time alone. And a lot of them were in Seattle and recommended a lot of treatments to continue in Seattle. And that was either in Puyallup or Federal Way, so the distance was an issue. And after my wife's recovery process with the whole hospital with that cancer, I just hadn't had a good insight on hospitals. Not any good fond memories or any hopes for them. Because if they failed my wife, and she's an adult who's fighting, so just. I know it's stupid, but it was severe doctor fear.
His story is making less and less sense, and Woo Jin sees that now. And finally, the moment where he confesses to beating her.
When these things would happen with Soo Jin and you would get so frustrated. Like last night when all of this happened with the cup, or with tying her up and hitting her in the ribs and the cup and all of it. What were you hoping would happen? What were you hoping would be the outcome of beating her like that? What were you?
She just stops this bad behavior and she just does the right thing.
But what is the right thing? That she stops having diarrhea? I mean, how is beating her going to help her stop having diarrhea?
No, like stop like tilting the porta potty or like just simple bad behaviors.
But you said she doesn't even understand, she can't even comprehend how to respond to her own name. And so how, I guess what I'm failing to put together, and I'm not judging you, I'm trying to understand, because I'm not in your home every day. And so I just want to understand, okay? She's almost 6. And by 6, a lot of kids can talk. I'm sure you have another 6-year-old in your house. So you see the two of them side by side. You have to know there's a difference between the two. You know, one of them is still in diapers. One of them, I'm sure, has been potty trained for years. One of them is likely in school. One of them is not. One of them is probably carrying on complete conversations in full sentences. One of them is using talk. One of them cannot even comprehend to respond to her own name. And yet, we're frustrated with her because she can't sit still on the potty, but she's 6 years old and still in diapers. And so when you say the point of the beating is to correct her bad behaviors, I'm asking you, as her father, did it ever occur to you, as the adult in the situation, who hasn't taken her to a doctor in 4 years, even though that CPS had a case against them for possible medical neglect, that maybe there is something actually physically and or mentally wrong with my child, that she can't help this. And so beating her for this because I'm frustrated with her is not going to make it better.
What do you think killed her?
Probably the beatings from last night.
When you say the beatings from last night, where were you hitting her hard enough that you think, I mean, the ribs, the chest, like where were you hitting her?
I think the ribs maybe.
Okay.
So they're going to do an autopsy on her. Okay. Like she was saying, they're going to find what if she has skull fractures, or what if she has something else. How would we account for that?
Or anything in her neck. Or that's what I'm asking you, is if there's anything else that you need to tell us right now, this would be the time to do that. Anything.
It doesn't have to be a punch or a kick or whatever. It could be anything. There's a lot of ways that little girl might have died. If it was, there's indications if something was obstructed her breathing, they're going to know that too. Are they going to see that? Not that you know of. You're her father, man. You got to take ownership of your kid. Okay? Alive or dead, you got to take ownership of your kid and what happened to her. So tell us right now what happened to her. Huh? You do know.
Anyone who saw the child would speak in the same tone as the caseworker. Seeing a little child full of cuts and bruises is not something one can forget. In the background, detectives have doubled down on evidence as they found photos and proof of abuse spread in all corners of the home. Woo Jin is confronted with the same.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got your wish.
What do you mean I got my wish?
Woo, I'm very sorry to have to be the one to tell you this.
No.
Paramedics did everything that they could. But on arrival at the hospital, your daughter succumbed to her injuries.
Oh my goodness.
And she passed away at the hospital. And I'm sorry, but she's gone.
Oh my God.
Woo Jin knows the consequences of his actions now. His baby did not make it. Nothing he says will take it back. But the detectives need the truth for the sake of justice. The last thing anyone could do for Soo Jin.
Speaking of Cierra, like I'm just trying to, like my partner here, we're just trying to understand, you know, looking back, just trying to understand everything. And you had said that she disciplines also. Does that include hitting? Like how? Hitting how?
With her hand.
Okay. Has she ever used an object?
Not that I've seen, but
Okay. And was she hitting Ian with her hand last night?
yes.
On the when was she doing that?
Dinner table, and when she was tied up in the porta potty, like we were just tired of cleaning the tire down.
Sure. Okay.
So I just,
I'm sure you were both very frustrated at the time. And was she, can you describe how she was hitting her?
just like, you know,
Like with a closed fist too?
no, like open palm.
Open palm? Where was she doing that on her?
It would vary where it lands.
Okay. So
Everywhere.
everywhere? Face?
Wherever it lands.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. You said wherever it lands. Like you saw where they landed. I wasn't there. And so they landed on her arms. Where else?
Body.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Face?
No face.
No, just
She would never hit the face.
hands and body.
She would never hit the face.
Okay.
It's shocking to see Woo Jin say just face and body calmly when his child has just been unalived. But it gets worse because Woo Jin is enthusiastic to show how he did and what he did to Soo Jin.
Okay, so I'm just trying to picture your bathroom, how this would actually look. So, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, okay? Tell me if I'm wrong.
So if I'm gonna use that door right there. So the pull-up bar was on the very top, and then her potty was in between the door.
That makes
so
sense.
she just goes like this.
Okay.
And the reason why she's tied up, and why I tied it to like this, so she can't like do this and this or this. Like it's just to the point where she just can't.
Okay, that makes sense. I think I was picturing like an actual toilet with like the potty on it or something, and I was just trying to, how does physically that doesn't seem possible, but okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense if it was under a door.
And so we first did this method thinking this would work, but then after like 3 successful diarrhea sessions, and remember, we didn't resort to thinking doing this first. It was like 3 diarrhea sessions. We tried to feed her something. She did eat, and it's like, okay, let's just let her process this maybe. Seems like we can't enjoy any activity because every 20 minutes she would just go off. So it's like, okay, so someone has to be with her, and here's these other kids going, hey, can you watch this, or hey, so-and-so threw up. I think we even lost it and told all the kids to stay in one room, and we took all the mattresses out, anything that's clothes, fabric, so the only thing we have to clean is just the carpets. Like, me and Sarah got so tired of all the cleaning up, like, we literally moved everything out just so they can just feel better.
Sure.
And then, so we resorted to that because it was just getting out of hand with the fecal, like just putting in her teeth, like rubbing in the walls, and just, after we did that, she started doing stuff with her feet, like trying to like kick stuff, and then Sarah resorted to tying her because she started doing this. And then she actually tipped the potty over, and Sarah's seeing the poo drip everywhere. She's like, ah, and I'm like, that's okay, I got this, I'll clean it up. If anything, just how can we make her stay here without her making this mess? I even asked her, and then she was in the state of panic. Obviously, it's not going to say anything nice, so let's just tie her up.
So it was her idea to tie her up?
In the legs, but I suggested, like, let's just tie the hands so she doesn't.
This is why the detectives were having a hard time believing Cierra. Whether Cierra disciplined the child herself or not, any adult who chooses to remain silent, ignore, and facilitate the abuse of a child is a perpetrator too. A week later, Cierra's mother learns the horrible things these 2 psychopaths did to the child and reveals the secret she had learned.
Was tied. Her hands were tied together, and then they were tied to a bar hanging from the ceiling. And she was left like that for maybe 3.5 hours. And she was tied to a toilet, like a kid's training toilet. And she was still kind of moving around and wouldn't sit still on the toilet. And so Jin got really upset and proceeded to strike her multiple times.
It said he punched her in the stomach with his full force.
Yep. And Cierra demonstrated for me how he hit her by pinning her backpack against the wall and hitting it. Indicating to me that she would have witnessed that. And then she was retied to the toilet and left there for a while longer. And then the kids all went out to dinner at the dining room table. And Jin was still angry about something. So at the dining room table, Jin was beaten some more. He was beaten. Was beaten. All of the kids basically that night were beaten, but was beaten to the point that we basically...
The other children, ages 10, 9, and 6, who were living in the same home, were identified during the investigation following the child's death on May 29, 2025. Authorities later alleged that some of these children had also experienced abuse, though they survived. After Soo Jin Hahn died on May 29, 2025, Woo Jin Hahn was initially charged on June 3, 2025 with several domestic violence-related offenses, including second-degree assault of a child, 2 counts of third-degree assault of a child, fourth-degree assault, and interfering with domestic violence reporting. As the investigation progressed, prosecutors amended and elevated the charges on September 23, 2025, adding homicide by abuse along with the existing child assault counts. Hahn was taken into custody shortly after the incident on May 29th to 30th, 2025, and has been held in jail with bail set at approximately $5 million while the case moves through the court system. On 10th June 2025, Cierra was taken into custody and later charged with first-degree assault of a child and an additional count of third-degree assault involving another child in the household. Prosecutors alleged that multiple children had suffered abuse inside the residence and that Cierra had directly participated in some of those acts. Her bail was set to $100,000, and on July 2, 2025, she pleaded not guilty. As of the latest updates, her case continues to move through the court system. As of the most recent verified reporting, Woo Jin Hahn is still in custody while the legal process continues.